The rain hammered the windows of the old Victorian house in Capitol Hill like it was trying to drown out the laughter inside. But it couldn't touch the storm brewing in Santiago's chest. Marcus's hand brushed his as they reached for the same bottle of bourbon on the sideboard. And in that split second, the world narrowed to the heat of his skin, the faint scent of cedar cologne cutting through the cigar smoke. "Sorry," Marcus murmured, his voice low and rough, eyes locking on Santiago's with a spark that said he wasn't sorry at all. And just like that, the engagement party for Santiago's sister Elena became the night everything shattered. Santiago had always been the steady one, the brother who fixed leaky faucets at 3 a.m. and drove Elena to her endless auditions without complaint. Growing up in the shadow of Seattle's perpetual gray skies, their family had clung to each other like moss to brick, Mom working double shifts at the diner, Dad long gone to whatever regret chased him south. Elena was the dreamer, all fire and sequence, chasing bit parts in indie films while Santiago grounded them in the real world, bartending at a dive in Belltown and sketching half-finished portraits in his notebook during slow nights. He was 28 now, still living in the cramped apartment above the family garage. His life, a careful rhythm of shifts and silences. Gay, yes, but quietly so, hookups in shadowed alleys after closing time. Never anything that lingered. Love was for people like Elena, who believed in it like scripture. That belief had landed her Marcus Hale 3 months ago, a transplant from Austin with sun-bleached hair and a laugh that filled rooms. He was 30, a software engineer who'd traded Texas heat for Seattle's tech boom, building apps for some startup in South Lake Union. Elena met him at a networking mixer, her charm pulling him in like a riptide. "He's perfect," she'd gushed to Santiago over takeout one rainy evening, her eyes bright as she scrolled through photos on her phone. "Tall, funny, and he gets my crazy. We're engaged, can you believe it?" The ring was simple, a vintage band she'd found at a Pike Place flea market, but it gleamed like a promise. Santiago had smiled, congratulated her, even helped plan the party. But when Marcus walked through the door that night, shaking rain from his wool coat, something in Santiago's chest cracked open. Marcus was broader than the photo suggested, his flannel shirt clinging damply to shoulders honed from weekend hikes in the Cascades. His eyes were green, flecked with gold, and when he shook Santiago's hand, firm, lingering a beat too long, Santiago felt the pulse jump in his throat. "Heard a lot about you," Marcus said, his Texas drawl softening the edges of the words. The brother who keeps this ship afloat. The party swelled around them, Elena's theater friends in ironic graphic tees, Mom fussing over the charcuterie board she'd splurged on, aunts from Tacoma gossiping in the kitchen. Santiago played host, refilling glasses, dodging questions about his own life. "Still single? You'll find someone." Mijo, while stealing glances at Marcus across the room. He was animated, telling a story about a failed rock climbing trip, his hands gesturing wide, drawing Elena close with an arm around her waist. She beamed up at him, and Santiago forced a laugh, but the envy twisted like a knife. Not for her happiness, for the ease Marcus wore, the way he commanded space without trying. As the night deepened, the crowd thinned. Mom herded the relatives into Ubers. Elena's friends spilled onto the porch for a last smoke. Santiago found himself in the study, the room dim with lamplight and the scent of old books. He poured another bourbon, neat, staring at the family photos on the mantel, him and Elena as kids, gap-toothed and inseparable on a sunlit ferry ride. Footsteps pulled back. Marcus leaned in the doorway, tie loosened, sleeves rolled up to reveal forearms dusted with fair hair. "Hiding out?" he asked, voice carrying that easy warmth. Santiago shrugged, handing him a glass. "Just decompressing." "It's been a whirlwind." Marcus took a sip, eyes on the photos. "You two look tight." "She's lucky to have you." He paused, gaze shifting to Santiago, something unreadable flickering there. "What about you? What's your story?" The question hung, simple but loaded. Santiago leaned against the desk, the wood cool under his palms. "Bartender by night, artist by. Whenever." Nothing glamorous. He meant it lightly, but Marcus stepped closer, the space between them shrinking. "Bullshit," Marcus said softly. "I saw your sketches in the hall. That one of the fairy, it's got soul. Makes you wonder about the guy behind it." He crept up Santiago's neck. No one talked to him like that. Saw past the surface. Flattery from the groom? Careful. Elena might get jealous. Marcus's laugh was low, almost a rumble. She's passed out on the couch. Jet lag from her LA callback. He set the glass down, close enough now that Santiago could see the faint scar above his eyebrow. A white crescent from some boyhood scrape. "Tell me something real, Santiago. What's keeping you up at night?" The rain picked up again, a steady drum against the panes. Santiago's pulse thrummed, the bourbon loosening the knot in his chest. "Loneliness. Maybe. Watching everyone pair off while I navigate." The admission slipped out, rawer than intended. Gain a family that loved him but didn't pry. In a city where rain blurred the edges of everything. Marcus nodded. No judgment, just that steady green gaze. "I get that. Back in Austin, I was engaged once before. Thought it was right. Woke up one morning and realized it was just safe." He reached out, fingers brushing Santiago's wrist again, this time deliberate. What if safe isn't enough? The air thickened, charged like the storm outside. Santiago's breath caught, his body leaning in despite the scream in his head. "Stop. She's your sister." But Marcus's touch lingered, thumb tracing a slow circle on his skin, and the world tilted. Their eyes met, and in that hazel-green collision, Santiago saw his own hunger mirrored back, the what-ifs, the forbidden pull. Then Elena's voice called from hall, sleepy and distant. "Marcus? Babe." Marcus pulled back, the moment fracturing like glass. "Coming," he called, voice steady as if nothing had happened. He clapped Santiago's shoulder, brotherly, casual, and slipped out, leaving Santiago alone with the echo of that touch, heart pounding like a war drum. The next morning dawned slate gray, the house quiet except for the drip of the gutters. Santiago woke on the study couch, mouth dry, head throbbing from too much bourbon and not enough sleep. Elena was in the kitchen, humming as she brewed coffee, her hair a wild halo from the night before. "You crashed hard, bro," she teased, sliding him a mug. "Marcus said you two had a deep talk. He's smitten with your art." Santiago forced a smile, the lie bitter on his tongue. "Yeah. Good guy." But as she chattered about honeymoon plans, maybe a cabin in the Olympics, he couldn't shake the ghost of Marcus's thumb on his wrist, the way his eyes had darkened with unspoken want. The days blurred into a tense routine. Elena dove back into auditions. Marcus settled into his remote setup in their spare room, coding late into the evenings. Santiago's shifts at the bar stretched longer. The neon glow and clink of glasses a numb distraction. But Marcus was there in flashes, a shared beer on the porch after Elena's late call time. Stories of Texas sunsets that made Seattle's drizzle feel like exile. "You ever think about leaving?" Marcus asked one evening, feet up on the railing, the city lights smudging the horizon. Santiago lit a cigarette, the flame flickering in the damp air. "Where to? This is home." Messy as it is, Marcus turned, profile sharp against the twilight. "Home's where you feel it, not where you're stuck." His knee bumped Santiago's. Accidental at first, then not moving away. The contact sent a jolt up Santiago's spine, heat pooling low despite the chill. They talked like that for hours, Marcus opening up about his ex. The pressure of fixing himself in therapy, the way he'd always chased women to prove something to his conservative folks. Santiago shared fragments, the first boy he'd kissed behind the high school bleachers. The ache of hiding it from Elena, who deserved better than his shadows. "You're not broken," Marcus said fiercely, hand on Santiago's knee now. Grip firm. "You're just waiting." The pull grew magnetic, inevitable. One night, Elena was away for a 3-day workshop in Portland. The house felt too big, too empty. Santiago cooked simple carnitas tacos, the sizzle of pork filling the kitchen with spice. Marcus wandered in, hair rumpled from a nap, wearing faded jeans and a threadbare Rangers tee. "Smells like heaven," he drawled, stealing a bite straight from the pan. They ate at the island, beers sweating on the counter, laughter easy until it wasn't. Marcus's foot hooked around Santiago's under the stool. A silent question. Santiago met his eyes, the hazel depths stormy. "We can't," he whispered, but his voice cracked, body already leaning. "Why not?" Marcus stood, closing the distance, hands framing Santiago's face. "Because of her, or because you're scared?" The kiss crashed over them like the rain, fierce, desperate. Marcus's mouth hot and demanding, tasting of lime and salt. Santiago groaned into it, hands fisting in Marcus's shirt, pulling him closer. They stumbled to the living room, shedding clothes in a trail, shirt buttons scattering, belt buckle clinking on the hardwood. Marcus's body was solid, warm, a map of freckles across his chest that Santiago traced with lips and teeth. "God, Santiago," Marcus gasped as they hit the couch. Santiago straddling him, grinding down with a friction that sparked stars behind his eyes. It was messy, urgent, hands exploring, breaths ragged. Marcus flipped them, pinning Santiago with weight and want, his arousal hard against Santiago's thigh. "Tell me to stop," he murmured, lips at Santiago's neck. But Santiago arched up, whispering, "Don't." They moved together, slick and synced, the room echoing with moans that drowned the storm. Release came in waves, Marcus shuddering over him, Santiago's nails digging crescents in his back. After, they lay tangled, sweat cooling on skin, the ceiling fan whirring softly. Marcus's fingers combed through Santiago's hair. "Tender now." "That wasn't just tonight," he said quietly. "I've felt it since the party." Santiago's heart clenched, joy warring with dread. "Elena, I know." Marcus kissed his temple. "We'll figure it out." But dawn brought clarity's cruel edge. Elena texted, "Workshop's a bust. Home early. Love you." Panic surged. They scrambled, sheets stripped, air freshener masking the musk. Marcus dressed in the bathroom, emerging with a forced grin. "Morning. Beautiful," he called as the door opened, pulling Elena into a hug that hid the tremor in his arms. Santiago watched from the kitchen, coffee mug burning his palm, the lie settling like lead in his gut. The secret festered, a shadow in every glance, every brush of hands when Elena wasn't looking. She noticed the shift, though, her brow furrowing at dinners. Questions laced with hurt. "You two are weird lately. Like you're in on some joke without me." Santiago deflected with jokes, Marcus with affection, but the guilt gnawed, turning meals to ash. 2 weeks later, it erupted. Elena found the sketch, Santiago's notebook left open on the desk. A hasty drawing of Marcus asleep on the couch, lines soft with intimacy. She confronted him in the garage, voice breaking. "What the hell? Santi? Is this you and him?" He denied at first, words tumbling clumsy. But her eyes, those eyes that had trusted him forever, hardened. "I saw the way he looks at you. God, I thought it was brotherly. But this," she thrust the paper at him, tears streaking her face. "My fiancé, my brother? How could you?" The betrayal sliced deep, her words echoing their childhood pacts. Marcus walked in then, face ashen. "Elena, it's not. Save it." She whirled on him, ring glinting like accusation. "Both of you. Liars." She stormed out, the door slamming like finality. Santiago chased her to the street, rain soaking them both. "Please, El." It was one night. A mistake. A mistake. She laughed, bitter. "You've been glowing for weeks." And him, pretending with me while. Her voice cracked. "I loved you both. Trusted you." Marcus caught up, soaked flannel clinging. "I love you, Elena. But this, it's more. With him." "I'm sorry." The words hung, a confession that gutted them all. Elena recoiled, hailing a cab to Mom's. "Don't follow me." Santiago turned on Marcus, fists clenched. "You said we'd figure it out. Not destroy her." Marcus's eyes were wrecked. "I couldn't lie anymore. Not to her. Not to us." The house emptied that night, Elena's clothes gone by morning. A note, "Needs space. Don't call." Santiago paced, the walls closing in, regret a vice around his ribs. Marcus tried to hold him, but Santiago shoved away. "Get out. This was your safe escape, wasn't it? Proving you're not the guy who bails." Marcus flinched but stayed, voice raw. "I'm not bailing. On you." But Santiago couldn't hear it. The betrayal too fresh, his own. Hers. Theirs. He threw himself into work. Nights blurring at the bar. Sketches burned in the sink. Elena went silent. Mom's calls pleading mediation. Families fix things. Mijo. But you gotta face it. The crisis peaked a month later. Elena's callback turning into a breakdown call at 2 a.m. Santiago drove to her hotel in Portland, the highway of black ribbon underwipers. She was curled on the bed, makeup smeared, voice small. "I keep seeing you too. Wondering if I ever knew him." "Or you." He sat beside her, the mattress dipping. You know me. I'm the idiot who loves too quiet. But I never meant to hurt you. She leaned into him. Stop shaking them both. Why him? Why now? Because he saw me, Santiago whispered. Like you always have. But it's not worth losing you. They talked till dawn, ugly truths spilling, her insecurities about the ring feeling rushed, his fear of being the family footnote. I pushed him away first, she admitted. Felt him drifting. Should have asked why. Healing started there. Tentative. Back in Seattle, Elena met Marcus at a neutral coffee shop in Fremont. Santiago waiting in the wings. Words were hurled, accusations. Apologies, but in the wreckage, clarity emerged. I can't marry you, she told Marcus. Voice steady. Not like this. But I don't hate you. Just be honest next time. Marcus nodded, broken but relieved. I will. With everyone. She turned to Santiago last. You're still my brother. Mess and all. But figure your heart out. Don't hide anymore. The ring went back to the flea market vendor. Elena reclaiming her spark with a solo trip to New York. Marcus moved out to a sublet in Ballard, but didn't vanish. He showed up at the bar one slow Tuesday, nursing a whiskey, eyes hopeful. Can we talk? No pressure. Santiago poured for him, then himself. About what happened. It was real. But timing's a bitch. Marcus reached across the bar, fingers lacing with his. Timing's fixable. If we try. They did slowly. Walks along the waterfront, where ferries cut wakes like promises. Marcus opened up more, the bi awakening he'd buried under straight-laced expectations. The therapy unpacking his Austin ghosts. Santiago shared his sketches. Vulnerabilities laid bare. Intimacy rebuilt. Not in frenzy, but in quiet, hands held under diner booths. Kisses in the rain that tasted like forgiveness. Elena's return brought the test. Dinner at Mom's. Awkward at first. Laughter thawing like spring. She watched them. Marcus's arm around Santiago's chair. And raised her glass. To messy families. And finding your way. Santiago met her eyes. Gratitude swelling. In the end, love wasn't the fairy tale Elena chased or the safe harbor Marcus fled. It was the raw, rain-soaked work of choosing each other, scars and all. And in Seattle's endless drizzle, that felt like enough. The ferry horn blared across the sound. A mournful call that matched the hollow ache in Santiago's chest as he watched Elena board without a backward glance. It had been 6 weeks since the blow-up. Her New York jaunt a deliberate exile. And now she was off to another audition in L.A. The distance a buffer against the ruins they'd left behind. Marcus stood beside him on the dock, hands shoved deep in his coat pockets, the wind whipping his hair into chaos. She'll call when she's ready, he said, voice steady but eyes shadowed with the same guilt Santiago carried like a stone. Santiago nodded, throat tight. The ferry pulled away, Elena's silhouette shrinking against the rail, waving once before turning inward. I should have gone with her. Made sure she's okay. You can't fix everything by hovering. Marcus's hand found his shoulder, a warm anchor in the chill gusts. Give her space. Like she's giving us. The word still felt foreign, a fragile bridge over the chasm of betrayal. Since that Portland dawn, Santiago and Marcus had navigated a tentative courtship, coffee runs that stretched into afternoons. hikes up Rattlesnake Ledge where the view stole breaths and words alike. Marcus had come out to his parents in a stilted Zoom call, their Texas drawls turning frosty before thawing into cautious questions. "We're proud if you're happy." "Son," his dad had grunted, and Marcus had cried after, alone in his sublet, until Santiago showed up with takeout and silence that said, "I see you." But Elena's absence loomed, a ghost at every meal. Mom had taken to leaving passive-aggressive posts. "It's on the fridge. Family eats together." No exceptions, her way of prodding without prying. Santiago's shifts at the bar had become a refuge, the jukebox crooning old Springsteen tracks while patrons spilled stories over IPAs. One night, a regular, an ex-Marine named Theo with a buzz cut and easy grin, leaned in after last call. "You look haunted, kid." "Bad breakup?" Santiago wiped the bar, forcing a chuckle. "Something like that." "Family drama." Theo nodded, wisdom in his weathered lines. "Family's the worst kind of love. Cuts deepest cause it should be safest." He slid a tip across the scarred. "But it heals too. Give it time." Time. Everyone preached it, but Santiago felt time slipping, grains through fingers. Marcus was patient, his texts a steady rhythm. "Morning light on the sound, looks like your eyes." Dinner? No expectations. But doubt crept in during quiet hours. Whispers that this was borrowed happiness. Elena's pain, the real toll. The call came on a Thursday, rain lashing the windows as Santiago sketched at his easel, charcoal smudging his jeans. Elena's name lit his phone, and he answered on the second ring. "El. Hey, loser." Her voice was light, but edged with fatigue. "LA's a grind. Saw my agent today, landed a co-star gig on some Netflix pilot. Nothing huge, but progress." Pride swelled, chasing shadows. "That's amazing. Proud of you." Silence stretched. "Then how's home? Mom's still hoarding those empanadas?" Santiago laughed, the sound rusty, like gold. "And Marcus and we're trying." Slow. Another pause. Heavier. "Good. He called me last week. Apologized again. Said he misses my fire, but knows it's not his to hold anymore." She sighed. "It hurts, Sandy. But I'm not broken. Just recalibrating." Tears pricked his eyes. "I miss you. Every day. I miss you too. But don't wait on me to bless this. It's yours to figure." Her tone softened. "Just promise me one thing. Be all in. No half shadows. I promise." The line went quiet, fairy horns echoing faintly in the background. She must be at the terminal. "Come home soon. Soonish. Love you. Bro. Love you more." He hung up, chest lighter, and texted Marcus, "She's good. We're good." Marcus's reply pinged instant. "Better than. Pick you up in 20. They drove out to Golden Gardens, the beach park where bonfires dotted the dusk like stars. Marcus spread a blanket, unpacked thermoses of spiked cider, the steam curling in the salt air. They sat shoulder to shoulder, waves whispering against pebbles, the city lights a distant hum. "What did she say?" Marcus asked, passing the thermos. Santiago recounted, the words easing out. "She's healing. Means we're not monsters." Marcus's jaw tightened, firelight dancing on his face. "Still feels like we are. Sometimes I wake up, think, what if I'd walked away that night? Spared her, Don't. Santiago turned, cupping his face, thumbs brushing stubble. That night was us waking up. Messy. Yeah. But real. Marcus leaned in, forehead to forehead. You're my real. The kiss was soft at first, exploratory, then deepening with the tide's pull, hands and hair, bodies shifting closer. They made love there under the blanket, slow and reverent, the world narrowing to breaths and touches. Marcus's whispers, love you, stay, anchored Santiago against the drift. But peace was fleeting. The next week, Marcus's startup hit turbulence, a funding round collapsed, layoffs looming. He came to Santiago's apartment reeking of stress, pacing the tiny living room. They might cut me. After all this, moving here, uprooting everything, Santiago pulled him down on the couch, legs tangled. Hey, you're more than a job. We'll pivot. Together, Marcus buried his face in Santiago's neck, vulnerability cracking his armor. What if I drag you down? You're just starting to breathe. The doubt echoed Santiago's own fears, but he held tighter. Then we sink or swim as us. The layoff hit Friday. Marcus's email curt, effective immediately. He holed up, screens glowing late. Job apps a futile scroll. Santiago brought meals. Sketch beside him. But tension simmered, snapped words over nothing. Silence as thick as fog. One night, after a fruitless interview, Marcus lashed out. You don't get it. This city's eating me alive. Maybe I should have stayed in Austin. Played straight. The words landed like blows. Santiago recoiled, hurt flaring to anger. So what? This us is the regret? The thing you fix by running. Marcus deflated, hands raking hair. No. God. No. I'm scared. Sandy. Of failing you. Santiago softened, pulling him close. Fail me 1,000 times. I'll still choose this. Elena's return coincided with Marcus's first callback. A video chat for a gig in Portland. She breezed in with airport swag, tacky LA keychains, stories of traffic horrors, hugging mom fierce, then eyeing Santiago with a wry smile. Gain muscle? Or was that lover's glow? He flushed, but the tease mended something. Dinner was the four of them, awkward plates of lasagna. Conversation skirting edges. Elena grilled Marcus on the layoff, her director's eye probing. What's your pitch? Sell me on why you're the guy. Marcus straightened, drawl sharpening. Because I build things that connect people. Even when it glitches. She nodded, impressed. Not bad. Now, about you too. Ground rules. No secrets. And Sandy? If he breaks your heart, I direct your funeral scene. Laughter broke the ice. Tentative, but true. Later, as Elena crashed in her old room, she cornered Santiago in the hall. He's good for you. Rough edges, but real. Just. Don't lose yourself chasing his storms. I won't, he promised, hugging her tight. Thanks for coming back. The months unspooled like film reels. Frames of ordinary magic. Marcus landed the Portland job, hybrid. Weekends free, and a weekend warriored between cities. Ferries their lifeline. Santiago's art gained traction. A gallery in Pioneer Square mounted a show. His fairy sketches selling to collectors who saw the longing in the lines. Elena's pilot rapped. Whispers of a series option buzzing. Mom beamed at Sunday barbecues, her empanadas a peace offering. But conflict brewed subtle in Marcus's late nights, the way his eyes drifted during quiet dinners. "What's eating you?" Santiago asked one evening. Alki Beach Trail winding under evergreens. Marcus hesitated, boots crunching gravel. "Remember that ex? The one before Elena?" Santiago's stomach nodded. "The safe one. Yeah. She's in town. Conference. Want coffee. Closure. She says." Jealousy spiked. Sharp. Closure. Right? Or testing waters. Marcus stopped, turning. "It's nothing. But part of me wonders if I'm just chasing patterns." "You deserve more than my mess." Santiago's voice rose, wind swallowing edges. "Patterns? This is us breaking them. Don't you dare backslide." The argument escalated on the drive home, words flying like rain, accusations of doubt, fears of unworthiness. Marcus pulled over at a viewpoint, engine ticking cool. "I love you. But love's not enough if I'm half in." Santiago's chest heaved. "Then get all in. Or let me go." Marcus's hand trembled on the gear shift. "I choose you. Every damn time." The makeup was fierce, bodies reclaiming in the back seat, fogged windows shielding their vows. But the seed of crisis lingered. Water by Marcus's ex reaching out again. A text Santiago glimpsed. "Miss our talks." "Drinks?" Trust frayed. Santiago withdrew. Sketches turning dark, storm-tossed ferries. Figures adrift. Elena noticed, pulling him for coffee at a Capitol Hill haunt. "Spill." "You're fading," he confessed, voice low over lattes. "He's slipping." "Old ghosts." She squeezed his hand. "Fight for it. Or walk. But don't haunt yourself." Emboldened, Santiago confronted Marcus that night. Apartment lit by a single lamp. The texts. "Her. What's the play?" Marcus sighed, defeated. "No play. I told her no. But it stirred shit. Fears I'm not enough for this life. For you." Santiago knelt before him, eyes fierce. "You're everything. But we build trust brick by brick. No secrets." Marcus pulled him up, kiss sealing it. "No more." Healing deepened in layers. They joined a queer support group in the U District. Circles of stories mirroring theirs, betrayals mended, identities claimed. Marcus's vulnerability bloomed. He started a blog. Anonymous posts on "By Awakening in the Tech Trenches." Comments flooding with "You're not alone." Santiago's show sold out. A piece dedicated to Elena fetching tears at the opening. Fall turned the leaves gold. Seattle skies clearing to rare blue. On a crisp October hike to Discovery Park, Marcus dropped to one knee, not with a ring, but a key. "To my place. Make it ours. If you're ready." Santiago's heart soared. Yes on his lips before the question finished. They moved in that weekend. Boxes mingling lives. Marcus's climbing gear beside Santiago's easels. Elena's housewarming gift a framed trio sketch. The three of them. Linked forever. The journey wasn't linear. Doubts resurfaced in winter's grip. Arguments flaring over Marcus's travel for work. Santiago's late gallery nights. But each crisis forged them stronger. Therapy sessions unpacking baggage. Date nights reclaiming joy. Elena dated a sound guy from set. Her laughter brighter. confiding in Santiago over wine. Love's not ownership. Learn that from you assholes. By spring, the healing felt whole. Marcus proposed properly on the ferry. Rings simple as Elena's had been, but etched with their initials. Not safe, he said, green eyes steady. But home, Santiago said yes. Tears salting the wind. Elena cheering from the rail, her blessing a quiet nod across the deck. In the end, the night that shattered became the spark. Love, they learned, was the art of ruins, rebuilding with honest hands. Scars' story. And in America's rainy Northwest, that was the deepest truth. Summer unfurled in Seattle like a reluctant bloom. The rare sun coaxing picnics to Gasworks Park and Alkie's Shores, where families stake claims with coolers and kites. Santiago and Marcus's new rhythm in the Ballard sublet. Now theirs with Lisa's merged, hummed with domestic ease, mornings tangled in sheets. Marcus's coffee strong and black. Santiago's sketches littering the breakfast nook. Elena jetted between coasts. Her pilot greenlit for second season. Her role expanding from quirky sidekick to lead with bite. I'm the girl who gets the guy, and the girl she'd quip over video calls. Her wink hiding the work it took to reclaim her script. But beneath the glow, fissures lingered. Marcus's blog had caught fire. Anonymous no more after a tech podcast invite. Suddenly, he was the by-engineer speaking truths, invites piling for panels in San Francisco. Boston. Pride swelled in Santiago, but so did unease, the way Marcus's phone buzzed constant. His laughs tinny through earbuds during late edits. You're a star, Santiago said one evening, chopping cilantro for tacos. The kitchen window framing sunset over the canal. Marcus glanced up from his laptop, grinned boyish. Guest spot. That's all. Builds the resume. He crossed to Santiago, arms wrapping waist, chin on shoulder. Miss me when I'm gone? Like rain misses clouds. The kiss was light, but Santiago's mind snagged on the calendar, another weekend away. This one overlapping Elena's rap party. Just. Don't forget us in the spotlight. Marcus pulled back, brow furrowing. Hey, this is for us. Stability after the layoff scare. Santiago nodded, forcing ease. But the seed of doubt took root, watered by solitude's quiet hours. His own world expanded too, a residency at the Fry Art Museum, weekly sessions in a sunlit studio overlooking the Arboretum. Charcoal gave way to oils, canvases capturing the city's pulse, lovers under umbrellas, ferries ghosting fog. Critics murmured emerging voice, a gallery in Chicago scouting for a solo show. Mom pinned clippings to her fridge, beaming at family dinners where Elena regaled with set tales. Marcus chimed in with tech metaphors that drew laughs. Yet the harmony cracked mid-July. Heat wave turning the sublet to a sauna. Marcus jetted to a conference in Austin, home turf, ghosts included. Touch base, Santiago asked at the airport, lips brushing in a goodbye that lingered. Every hour, Marcus promised. Boarding pass crinkling in his fist. The text came steady at first, plain delays. Barbecue with old buddies. A sunset hike echoing boyhood. Then silence stretched. A day folding into two. Santiago threw himself into canvas. Strokes furious. Elena's call a lifeline. Texas temptation, she teased. Voice crackling from L.A. He laughed it off. Nah. Just radio quiet. Push him, or let it fester. Her tone sobered. Learned that the hard way. The ping came late night. Sorry, babe. Family dinner ran long. Dad's health scare. Nothing major, but shook me. Call? Santiago dialed. Voice even. You okay? Marcus's exhale ragged. Yeah. Just. Being back here. Feels like slipping into old skin. Pause. Missed you today. Hard. The vulnerability bridged the gap. But Santiago's gut twisted. Slipping? Or fitting? Missing you. Santi. That's the fit. They talked till his battery died. Plans for stargazing when he returned. Vows to unplug more. He landed tanned and tired. Bear-hugging Santiago at baggage claim. Take me home. That night. They reclaimed the bed slow and deep. Bodies mapping forgiveness. Marcus's whispers chasing shadows. But in the afterglow, his phone lit. Dinner soon? R. With a heart. Rachel. The ex. Santiago sat up. Sheet pooling. Who's that? Marcus blinked. Sleepy. Rachel? Old friend from UT. Mentioned her. The one who wants closure. Ice edged his words. Or more. Marcus propped on elbow. Alarm dawning. It's nothing. Group thing. Swear. The argument ignited. Words kindling fast. Trust breached. Patterns repeating. You promised no secrets, Santiago hurled. Pacing the moonlit room. But here we are. Goes to the door. Marcus rose. Hands out. I'm not hiding. It's coffee. Closure. For me, to shut the chapter. Then shut it alone. Santiago grabbed keys. Storming to the balcony. City unmocking below. Minutes ticked. Then Marcus joined. Blanket draped. I love you. Not her. But yeah, I'm scared of losing this. Of not being the man you need. Santiago turned. Eyes wet. Scared's fine. Sneaking's not. Dawn brought truce. Marcus canceled the dinner. Deleted the thread. Therapy app booked double sessions. We're in this, he said over breakfast. Fingers linked. No half steps. August brought Elena home for the hiatus. Her presence a balm and barometer. She crashed at the sublet, turning the couch into a fort of scripts and snacks. Domestic bliss suits you, she observed, eyeing Marcus's arm around Santiago during movie night. Some rom-com irony. But later, washing dishes, she cornered him. Heard about Austin. You good? Santiago scrubbed a plate harder. Working on it. She dried. Gentle. Love's not a solo edit. Direct the scene together, or cut it. Her words lingered as Marcus's panels ramped. SF next. A queer tech summit. Santiago tagged along. The city a whirlwind of cable cars and fog. Panels were electric. Marcus on stage. Drawl commanding. Sharing by invisibility in code cultures. Attendees mobbed after. Card exchanged. But one lingered, a producer type. Sharp suit. Lingering handshake. Inspiring, she said to Marcus. Eyes appreciative. To Santiago. Partner? Lucky man. The word landed warm. But hotel that night. Marcus's phone buzzed again. Colleague invites. Flirty emojis from moderator. Networking, he dismissed. But Santiago's sleep evaded. Mind spinning reels of what-ifs. Back in Seattle. The crisis crested at Labor Day barbecue. Mom's backyard grill smoking ribs. It's gossiping. Elena manning the playlist. Marcus arrived late, fresh from a Boston red-eye. Eyes shadowed. Traffic, he muttered, kissing Santiago's cheek. But the hug lingered loose, and when Elena pulled him for a beer run, Santiago overheard fragments. Her low, "You look wrecked." "What's up?" "Work stress." Proposals piling. She pressed, her cold feet. Marcus's laugh forced. "Nah." "Solid." Santiago confronted post-barbecue. Drive home tense. What did she say? Nothing. Just L being L. Bullshit. He pulled over near the locks. Salmon ladders churning below. "You're pulling away." Again, Marcus rubbed temples. "It's the travel. Feels like I'm chasing. Not building. Then stop chasing." Hurt cracked through. "Or admit you're done." The silence stretched. Boats chugging past. Marcus's voice broke small. "Not done." Terrified of messing up the best thing, Santiago reached, hand on knee. Terrifies us both. But we face it. They did. Therapy unpacking the fear. Marcus scaling back panels. Prioritizing home. September's residency climaxed in a studio show. Canvases unveiled to murmurs. Raw. Intimate. Marcus teared up at the dedication plaque. For him, who saw the light in the gray. Elena flew in, toasting with Mom, to brothers who love fierce. Fall deepened. Leaves carpeting paths. Their engagement a quiet anchor, ring worn daily. Wedding whispers over cider at Hilliard's taps. But betrayal's echo surfaced in November. Marcus's dad hospitalized. Heart episode. The call sobering. Austin bound them again. Santiago insisting on joining. We're a team. Texas heat wrapped cloying. Family ranch sprawling under big skies. Marcus's folks were wary, his mom hugging stiff. Dad gruff with handshakes. Dinners were minefields. Bible verses slipped in. Questions veiled as concern. Settled now? His dad asked Marcus over brisket. Eyes flicking to Santiago. Yeah. Dad. Happy. Nods. But tension hummed. Nights in the guest room. Marcus paced. They love me. But this. Santiago held him. They'll come around. Or we make our family. The visit cracked open old wounds. Marcus confessing teen hookups hidden. The straight mask forged young. Feels like betraying them too. You're honoring yourself, Santiago countered. That's the gift. Back north. Healing layered. Holiday cards from Austin. Tentative. Proud of you. Son. Elena's series premiered to buzz. Her red carpet glow beaming via FaceTime. You two clean up nice, she catcalled at their virtual toast. Winter solstice brought the peak, a snow-dusted proposal redo on the beach. Marcus scattering petals that melted fast. Forever, he asked. Knees damp. Always, Santiago breathed. Ring sliding home. But crisis shadowed New Year's. Marcus's blog drew a stalkerish fan. Emails veering obsessive. Then a doorstep appearance at the sublet, wide-eyed woman. Rambling about soulmates. Police statement. Locks changed. But the violation lingered. Marcus withdrawing into work. Santiago's arms not enough. You're safe, Santiago murmured nights. But Marcus's eyes haunted. Feels exposed. Like I invited it. Therapy shifted gears, boundaries. Self-worth beyond screens. Elena visited. Fierce. Own your voice. Don't let one nut silence it. Spring thawed the freeze. Marcus posting again, vulnerable on safety, invisibility. Support surged, the fan fading. Their wedding planning bloomed, small. Courthouse with park reception. Elena officiating in jest. "I'll make you cry," she threatened. Summer circled back. Anniversary of that shattering night. They returned to the house. Elena's now. Sublet traded for a queen and craftsman. Picnic on the lawn. Bourbon poured neat. To what started it all, Marcus toasted. Eyes gold flecked. To surviving, Santiago added. Kiss ceiling. In the quiet after, Elena joined. 3 glasses raised. Love, they knew, was the storm and the shore, dramatic, deep, defiantly human. And in its wake, they stood whole. The wedding day dawned improbably clear. Seattle's July sun gilding the courthouse steps where Mom fussed with boutonnieres, her hands trembling with unshed tears. Elena, in a linen suit tailored sharp, adjusted Santiago's tie with a director's precision. "Breathe, bro. This is your close-up." Marcus waited inside, fidgeting in wool, his green eyes locking on Santiago's through the glass doors, a vow before words. The ceremony was brief. Vows handwritten on napkins. Marcus's, "You pulled me from safe waters into the deep. I'm yours, Santiago's, in your light. I found my own." Rings exchanged. Kiss ceiling under claps. Elena's, "I now pronounce you husbands." Messy and magnificent. The reception sprawled in Discovery Park. Blankets under madronas. Food trucks wafting tacos and craft brews. Elena emceed with flair. Toasts weaving their saga, from betrayal's script to this rewrite. They proved love's the best plot twist. Laughter flowed. Dances impromptu. Marcus twirling Santiago to an old Patsy Cline cover. Whispers hot against ear. Mrs. Hale has a ring to it. Husband. The words settled like home. Their first night in the new queen and house a blur of unboxed sheets and slow explorations. Bodies relearning in moonlight slanting through blinds. Mornings after brimmed with coffee and clippings. Santiago's Chicago show confirmed. A month-long residency. Go. Marcus urged over eggs. Your star's rising. I'll hold the fort. Elena crashed often. Her series renewed. But cracks showed in her polish. Late-night calls about a co-star's advances. The industry's grind. Men see props. Not people, she'd vent. Wine glass, stem twisting. Santiago listened. Marcus offering tech fixes for her career app idea. Family knit tighter. Mom's dinner's ritual. Her stories of dad's ghosts softening with age. August heat peaked as Santiago prepped for Chicago. Canvases crated. Heart tugged. Marcus drove him to Seattle-Tacoma. Kiss lingering curbside. Video every night. Love you to the skyline. The Windy City whirlwind. Gallery buzz. Collectors at openings. A hookup invite from a curator waved off with Marcus's photo as shield. Texts anchored. Marcus's good morning. Artist. Send nudes, eliciting eye rolls and compliance. But midway, a call shattered rhythm. Elena, hysterical. Mom's in the hospital. Fall, hip fracture. Come home. Santiago's flight booked frantic. Chicago truncated. At Virginia Mason. Mom lay pale but feisty. For dripping. Elena pacing hall. Slipped on the porch steps. Nothing fatal. Docs say. Relief, ward worry. Marcus arriving with takeout. his presence steadying. Recovery pulled them orbit, shifts at bedside. Marcus coding remote. Santiago sketching mom's hands, veined. Resilient. You boys, she murmured one evening. Elena dozing nearby. Married now. Proud. But don't let it blind you to each other. Marcus squeezed Santiago's hand. Won't. Fall's residency, afterglow faded into routine. But conflict simmered subtle. Marcus's promotion to lead dev. Hours stretching. Dinners microwaved. Big push, he'd apologize. Rubbing eyes. Means equity. For us. Santiago nodded. But resentment brewed. Brushes idle as he picked up bar shifts again. Elena noticed at a Fremont brewery. Her IPA foaming. You're fraying. Talk to him. It's work. Our future, she snorted. Future's now. Direct the scene. Or recast. The spark ignited Thanksgiving Eve. Marcus late from a team dinner. Stumbling and tipsy. Schmoozing investors. Landed the deal. Pride flickered. But Santiago's voice sharpened. Again, families waiting. Marcus deflated on the couch. It's always something. Can't win. You win by showing up. Words escalated. Accusations of neglect. Defenses of ambition. You wanted stability? Marcus shot. This is it. Stability's not solitude. Santiago stormed to the studio. Door clicking final. Dawn brought coffee truce. Marcus at threshold. I suck at balance. Help me. Therapy rebooted. Sessions carving space. Date nights enforced. Marcus delegating tasks. December twinkled with holidays. Tree trimmed to Springsteen carols. Elena's gift a custom script. Their story. From Fiancé to forever. But betrayal's specter returned insidious. A work trip to Austin. Marcus's ex-Rachel, now a colleague at a merged firm. Panel together, he explained over packing. Professional. Santiago's gut clenched. The one who misses talks. Marcus paused. Suitcase zipping slow. History. But I'm clear married. Trust teetered. Santiago confiding in Elena over eggnog. Feels like echoes. She hugged fierce. Echoes fade if you don't amplify. Trust your director's cut. The trip stretch delays. Then radio silence broken by a group photo. Marcus. Rachel arm in arm with team. Her smile too bright. Caption, reconnecting roots. Santiago's text. Home safe? Reply hours later, jet-lagged. Miss you. Jealousy festered. Confrontation exploding on return. Kitchen accusatory. Reconnecting? Or elapsing? Marcus recoiled. It's a photo. Jesus. Santi, after everything. After everything. You know better. Voice cracked. I can't chase ghosts forever. Marcus's eyes welled. Neither can I. If you don't trust me. The words hung. A precipice. Santiago walked out, crashing at Elena's. Couch a cold comfort. Days blurred, her pep talks. Mom's calls, fix it. Mijo. Love's work. Crisis peaked week 2. Marcus at the door. Rain soaked. I quit the panel collab. Told her boundaries. But if we're done, Santiago pulled him in. Kissed desperate. Not done. Scared, they collapsed together. Truths tumbling. Marcus's fear of inadequacy. Santiago's of abandonment. We're enough, Marcus whispered. Flawed. But us. Healing wove deliberate. Couples retreat in the San Juans. cabins and counselors unpacking layers. New Year's dawn committed. Resolution scrawled. Weekly check-ins. No Austin solos. Spring bloomed with Elena's Eminem buzz. Her speech draft including them. To the men who taught me love rewrites. Santiago's Chicago Pieces toured. A Seattle homecoming show selling swift. Marcus balanced lead role with home. Cooking fails, bonding laughs. Summer circled. Anniversary hike to Rattlesnake. Vows renewed at Ledge. City sprawled below. To storms weathered, Marcus toasted with water bottles. But depth called. Mom's recovery revealed cancer whispers. Early. Treatable. Family rallied. Chemo drives. Elena's fundraisers. Marcus's apps for patient trackers. Vigil nights forged steel. Mom's hand in Santiago's, you boys, my anchors. Fall's harvest brought harvest of growth. Wedding's first year marked by a vow tattoo, intertwined fairies on wrists. Elena's win night. They cheered front row. Her hug encompassing, family's the real award. Winter whispered peace. Snow blanketing queen, and one night, fire crackling. Marcus knelt again, not proposal, but promise. Kids? Someday. Santiago's yes bloomed future. Love's arc bending toward light. In America's tapestry, rain, ambition, redemption, they wove enduring thread. Human, heartfelt, home. The cancer diagnosis hung like Seattle's winter fog, pervasive yet pierced by stubborn sunbreaks. Mom's treatments a calendar of infusions and scans at Swedish. Santiago and Marcus tag team carpools. Elena flying in bi-weekly with care packages, organic teas. Dog-ear novels. Her latest script for bedtime reads. Laugh or cry, she'd say, tucking pages under Mom's elbow. The house in Capitol Hill became command central. Air thick with ginger for nausea. Marcus's laptop humming symptom trackers he'd coded overnight. Santiago's art shifted visceral, portraits of Mom mid-chemo. Bald head fierce under scarves. Eyes unbowed. Gallery whispers turned to commissions. A series resilience lines exhibited downtown. Proceeds to cancer funds. Your mother's fire, the curator noted at opening. But Santiago saw only the boy who'd lost Dad young. Now facing loss again. Marcus anchored steady, but strain-etched, promotion pressures clashing with hospital vigils. His texts from boardrooms clipped, running late. Love you. Nights. He'd collapse beside Santiago. Murmurs of exhaustion, holding it together, barely. Santiago's hand traced his spine. But we are. Elena's series hiatus allowed nesting. Her LA lease subbed, crashing indefinitely. Trial run for family compound, she joked, but eyes betrayed worry. One dawn, kitchen coffee brewing. She cornered Santiago. He's fraying. You see it. Marcus. Pouring creamer. Froze. I'm fine. Just. Dad called. Wants updates. But it's awkward, still not fully on board with us. The Texas rift resurfaced. Marcus's parents' visits sparse post-wedding. Cards polite but edged. They love you, Santiago soothed later. Bed warm. Time. But time pressed. Mom's second scan clearish. Remission tentative. Relief party at home. Tacos. Mariachi playlist. Lifted spirits. Elena toasting. To warriors and their wingmen. Laughter echoed. But Marcus stepped out mid-fest. Porch phone call, voice low. Santiago followed. Door creaking. Everything okay? Marcus pocketed phone. Face drawn. Rachel. For a merger. She's transferring to Seattle office. Want to grab lunch. Bury hatchets. Santiago's pulse spiked. Old wound reopening. Bury? Or dig up? It's professional. She's engaged now. Marcus's hand-cupped jaw. Trust me, the word tested. Santiago nodding stiff. Trying. Lunch happened at a neutral Pike Place spot. Marcus recounting post-meal. Awkward. Apologies all around. Closed book, but photos surfaced weeks later. Team happy hour. Rachel's arm casual on his shoulder. Caption: PNW welcomes. Santiago scrolled frozen. Elena spotting over shoulder. Delete. Block. Drama's not your genre. Confrontation brewed slow. Erupting Valentine's Eve. Marcus late again. Roses wilting on counter. Investor dinner, he explained, but Santiago's voice iced. With her. Marcus sighed. Coat shedding. Colleague. Nah, colleague like Austin? Or the photo op? Hurt spilled. I'm fighting ghosts while you flirt with them. Marcus's eyes flashed. Flirt? Jesus. Santi, I'm building our life. House down payment. Your studio expansion. Or your escape. The slap of words stunned. Santiago storming to studio. Door locked. Hours ticked. Marcus's knocks pleading. Let me in. Don't forget it. Santiago opening wearied. I can't keep rebuilding trust. It's exhausting. Marcus entered. Defeated. Then let's redesign it. No more solo lunches. Transparency app. Share calendars. For real. The compromise stuck. Therapy amplifying. Role plays of triggers. Marcus's vulnerability log app shared. Spring's cherry blossoms burst as mom rang bell. Remission solid. Family picnic at green, lake ceiling joy. Elena's new project greenlit. A queer rom-dram she'd pitched, inspired by pains in my ass. But crisis loomed larger. Marcus's firm-eyed expansion. Relocation offered to Austin HQ. Lead architect. Equity windfall. For the future, he pitched over dinner. Salmon flaking. Kids' college. Travel. Santiago's fork paused. Future here's good. Mom needs us. Elena too. Marcus nodded slow. It's negotiable. Remote hybrid. The debate stretched weeks. Pros, cons tabled. Elena mediating. Chase dreams. Not dollars. But don't drag him. Texas pull tugged Marcus's roots. Parents warming. Sister's wedding invite. Visit planned. Santiago tagging. United front. Ranch air thick with nostalgia. Barbecues thawing in-laws. Marcus's mom pulled Santiago aside. He glows with you. Thank you. Dad's handshake firmer. Family's family. But offered dinner turned tense. HR call mid-stake. Except by month end. Marcus's face ashen post call. It's huge. Believing you? No. Santiago's hand under table squeezed. Then decline. The choice gutted. Marcus tendering resignation letter that night. Porch stars witnessing. You over ambition. Every time. Back north. Fallout hit. Firm counter. Demotion threat. Marcus weathered. Job hunting fierce. But pride bruised. Feel like failure, he confessed shower steam cloaking. Santiago toweled hair. Failure's quitting us. This. Growth. Job landed local, smaller startup. Work-life carved. Summer's wedding anniversary dawned. Getaway to San Juan's. Kayaks. Cabins. No signals. Recharge, Marcus said, paddling tandem. But betrayal's final echo. Elena's co-star's scandal broke, affair exposed. Her name dragged in trades. Guilt by association, she wailed call. Career teetering. Santiago flew L.A. Marcus holding home fort. Set visit tense, protests. Elena defiant. I'm not the villain. Support surged. Marcus's viral post on allyship in Hollywood. Santiago's portrait auction for her legal fund. Crisis bonded. Elena emerging stronger. Indie pivot. Directorial debut scripted. Fall's equinox brought balance. Mom's clean scan. Family cruise to Victoria. Ferries their motif. Elena's film festival nod. Toasts clinking to plot twists owned. Winter whispered expansions. Adoption talks with agency. Home study prep. Marcus's tattoo itched healing. Mini ferry beside the large. Our fleet. New Year's Eve. Rooftop party queen and Elena emceeing countdown. Ball drop. Confetti swirled. Marcus pulling Santiago close. Year of us. But Depp's call persisted. Mom's memoir urge. Story scribed by Santiago. Elena's film premiered Sundance buzz. Queer love raw. Marcus mentored by youth group. His voice steadying others. Spring's renewal. Agency match. Foster to adopt boy. 8. Wide-eyed from system churn. Trial run. Social worker cautioned. But home filled instant. Baseball mitts. Bedtime tales. Crisis-crested summer. Boys' nightmare nights. Marcus's patience fraying work stress. Not cut out, he doubted midnight kitchen. Santiago held. We are. Together. Therapy Family Edition. Bonds knit. Elena, Andy visits. Spoiling with props. Mom's wisdom. Parenting's the ultimate rewrite. By fall. Boy, named Luca after grandpa, settled. First day school photos beaming. Wedding's second mark. V renewal at park. Luca ring bearer giggling. Love's arc. They learned. Spiraled upward dramatic dips. Romantic peaks. Humanistic heart. In modern America's weave, cities pulsing, families forging, they claim their frame, enduring. Emotional. Entirely theirs. Luca's laughter echoed through the queen and house like chimes in wind. A sound that chased winter's last chill and rooted Santiago deeper in a fatherhood's unpredictable tide. At 9 now, the boy was a whirlwind of soccer cleats and science kits. His dark curls a mirror to Santiago's. Questions endless. Why rain if sun's hiding? Marcus fielded with experiments. Rain gauges from bottles. Cloud jars, fizzing vinegar. His engineer patience blooming paternal. Elena dubbed weekends Annie Boot Camp, hauling Luca to Pike Place for fish tosses and her acting 101 with sock puppets. Her directorial debut wrapped. Festival awards stacking like trophies. Mom's health held steady. Her volunteer gig at the hospital a badge of survivor swagger. Chemo tales spun into support group lore. Family dinners swelled. Texas in-laws video calling. Marcus's sister gushing over Luca. Y'all did good. The past shadows thinned. Rachel, a faded colleague, reassigned. Her wedding invite declined politely. But autumn's harvest hid thorns. Santiago's touring exhibit demanded East Coast legs. Boston. Then D.C., 2 months away. Go. Marcus urged leaf-peeping drive to Leavenworth. Your voice needs wings. Luca's pout at news broke hearts. No ferries without you. Santiago knelt. Hugging fierce. Video ferries every day. Promise. Departure dawn crisp. Airport kiss lingering. Marcus's hurry back. Artist dad. Luca's drawing clutched. Family on a boat. Wave smiling. Boston's galleries hummed. Canvases evoking gasps. Pacific souls in oil, but hotel nights ached empty. Calls crackling with Luca's school tales. Marcus's quiet, miss your chaos. Mid-tour. Fracture struck. Elena's call. Voice edged. Luca's teacher flagged. Bruises. Agency check-in. Possible relative claim. Santiago's flight booked instant. Exhibit cut short. Home airport. Marcus waited ashen. Luca napping car seat. Cousin in Oregon. Marcus explained drive. Bio mom's side. Wants custody test. Panic surged. House of Warren of legalese. Lawyer consults. Social worker visits. Lucas sensed. Questions sharpening. Am I going away? Santiago held. Stories soothing. Your hours. Always. Elena's LA return pause for war room. Scripts swapped for affidavits. Fight like hell, she rallied. Mom's hand steady. Blood's not all that binds. Crisis deepened Thanksgiving. Relatives' lawyer pushing DNA. Luca's confusion melting to withdrawal. Meals picked at. Marcus paced nights. Voice raw. What if we lose him? Santiago pulled close. We fight. Then we heal, whatever. Court dates loomed winter. Testimonies tender. Marcus's bond logs. Santiago's sketches chronicling Luca's bloom. Elena testified fierce. He's family. Period. Ruling dropped January frost. Custody denied. Bond unbreakable. Relatives instability cited. Relief flooded. Luca's hug crushing. Staying forever, Marcus vowed. Tears salting. But victory's aftershock. Marcus's burnout crested. Startup crunch clashing foster follow-ups. Drowning. He confessed therapy. Voice cracking. Dad mode. Husband mode slipping. Santiago nodded. Scale back. We're crew. Not captain solo. Job tweak. Part-time consult. Space for coaching Luca's team. Spring's thaw mirrored mending. Park picnics with Elena's new flame. A composer. Gentle, family expanding. Yet conflict stirred subtle. Mom scan cloud. Recurrence whisper. Biopsy pending. Vigil renewed. Treatments resuming. Her humor shield. Round 2. I'll direct this sequel. Santiago's art darkened. Luca's joy juxtaposed Mom's fight. Canvas's fragile anchors raw at gallery. Sales soared charity. But Marcus eyed worried. Don't carry alone. Summer's solstice brought pivot. Elena's film Oscar buzz. LA pull strengthening. Directing gig, she announced barbecue. For pausing. But visits? Non-negotiable. Luca's cheers masked Santiago's pang. Sister's flight echoing old losses. Proud, he toasted. But nights whispered fears. Crisis peaked July 4th. Fireworks bursting. Mom's chemo lag zapping energy. Luca's nightmare post-boom. Abandonment dreams. Marcus soothed. But dawn argument flared. You're distant, Santiago accused. Coffee steaming. Work. Worry, where are you? Marcus's eyes flashed. Here. Fighting ghosts you dredge up. Trust issues again. The slap stunned. Old betrayal rearing. Ghosts? Try reality. Mom fading. Elle leaving. You checked out. Marcus recoiled. Checked out? I quit Austin for this. Words volleyed. Door slamming Santiago to studio. Hours later, Marcus entered. Defeated. I'm scared too. Of not enough. Embrace followed, tears mingling. Enough together. Therapy tripled, family sessions. Mom joining Rye, loves the chemo, burns, but cures. False foliage turned therapy gold. Luca's school, play starring. Tiny engineer in Marcus's old hard hat. Elena jetted for premiere. Red carpet waved to cam, for my boys. But Depp's demand. Mom's decline accelerated. Hospice whispers. Family cocooned. Luca shielded with playdates. Stories sanitized. Vigil nights. Her hand weak. Live loud. Mijos. For me, passing came equinox quiet. Sunset painting room gold. Grief tsunami. Funeral rain lashed. Eulogies raw. Elena's director of our hearts. Marcus's anchor eternal. Santiago's sketch slideshow. Luca's flower toss. Winter's wake hollowed. House echoing absence. Elena stayed months. Co-writing Mom's memorial book. Marcus held Luca through sobs. Santiago through silences. She'd hate our moping. Elena quipped eventual. Sparking laughs. Healing layered spring. Memorial garden planted. Mom's roses budding. Santiago's series tribute exhibit sold out. Proceeds hospice. Marcus's youth group expanded. By Dad's circle birthed. Summer's anniversary third. Beach vow. Luca scattering petals. To Grandma's light. Marcus toasted. Elena's Oscar win night. They streamed tearful. Her speech. Mom taught rewrite. These men? My cast. Fall brought blooms. Luca's adoption final. Papers signed courthouse echo. Elena's directorial sequel greenlit. Seattle base. Winter solstice. Firelit promises. Second kid talk. Agency files browsed. Love's narrative. Dramatic and dear. Etched their American dream. Lost lace triumph. Romance rooted real. In Seattle's embrace. They endured, fathers, brothers, husbands whole. Grief's tide ebbed uneven. Spring's greening a gentle insistence against the ache Mom left. Her roses unfurling defiant in the backyard plot. Luca. Now. Tended them with Marcus's precision, watering cans many. Questions philosophical. Does she see us from clouds? Santiago knelt muddied. Honest, every bloom. Buddy. Proud. Elena's directorial pivot anchored her stateside. A Fremont loft her creative bunker. Scripts spilling queer tales inspired by their tapestry. Mom's the ghostwriter, she'd say over brunches. Mimosas bubbling. Her Oscar glow dimmed to workhorse, set visits. Pitch meetings but family Sundays sacred. Luca's soccer games her sideline cheer squad. Marcus's consult gig flexed freedom. Coaching Luca's league. His by dad's group swelling to potlucks where stories swapped like recipes. Santiago's tribute series toured nationally. Whispers of a book deal, resilience lines, a family's frame. Canvases captured, not just loss, but legacy. Luca's grin mid-kick. Elena's fierce toast. Marcus's hand steady in his. Yet summer's heat brewed unrest. Agency match for sibling, a girl. 5. Shy-eyed foster drift. Home study passed, but integration tripped alarms. Luca's jealousy flaring. Toys hidden, the girl. Mia. Tantrums echoing old hurts. Not fair. Luca sulked bedtime. Marcus mediating. Families big enough for all. Santiago's patience frayed. Sketches frantic. Elena observed park picnic. You're stretched. Tag out. Nights. Marcus held. We're building. Messy, but ours. Crisis ignited August. Exhibit in New York. Santiago solo. Mia's first night terror pulling Marcus Dawn ER run. Fever spike. Hospital haze. Call came mid-panel. Dehydration. Stable. But flight panic. Gallery abandoned. Cabby racing to LaGuardia. Home reunion tear-streaked. Mia curled small. Luca guilty, my fault. Hugs dispelled. But strain lingered. Marcus's exhaustion snapping over dinner dishes. Can't do hero every hour. Santiago's voice rose. Then say it. Before we break. Therapy urgent. Parenting circle. Strategy scribed. Elena stepped Annie heavy. Sleepovers easing load. Fall school start steadied. Mia's chatter blooming. Luca's big bro pride emerging. But betrayal's whisper. Old colleague poached Marcus. Offer tempting. Travel heavy. 6 months Denver trial. He pitched hike. Bridge funding for adoption finals. Santiago halted trail. Denver? Us here. Healing. Marcus's eyes pleaded. Temporary. For us. Doubt crested. Confrontation home. Temporary like Austin. Patterns. Marcus. Hurt recoiled. I'm not running. Building. Building distance. Door shut. Couch exile. Dawn mediation. Elena's coffee intervention. Choose presence. Dollars fade. Marcus withdrew offer. Loyalty reaffirmed. You over miles. Winter's adoption dual final. Courthouse joy. Mia's ring toss giggling. Holiday lights twinkled fuller. Texas visit warm. In-laws doting. Lucas snowman army charming. Spring's renewal. Elena's film sequel cast. Queer leads headlining. Santiago's book deal inked. Manuscript mom's stories woven. Marcus's group podcast launched. Voices amplifying. Yet climax brewed subtle. Mia's bio mom surfaced, rehabbed. Custody bid. Court loomed summer. Testimonies relived. Bonds proven. Mom's relapse history damning. Ruling held. Family intact, but emotional toll crested. Marcus's breakdown post-hearing. Bar collapse. What if next time? Santiago held pub dim. We fight. Always. Healing summer. Family camp Olympics. Cabins and canoes mending. Elena's premiere red carpet. Kids in tow. Flashes blinding. Her arm linked. My crew. Fall's harvest. Luca's birthday bash. Mia's first words essayed. Santiago's book launch. Readings raw. Dedication. For those who anchor. Winter solstice. Hearth vows. 3rd anniversary. Mia asleep. Luca stargazing. Marcus knelt. More? Our fleet grows. Santiago's yes. Agency call queued. Elena's sequel wrapped. Awards chatter. Marcus minnered Mia's art. Tiny brushes. Mom's garden overflowed. Roses gifted. New Year's dawn. Snow soft. Family sledding. Laughter echoing. Love's odyssey. Dramatic gales. Romantic harbors. Humanistic heart charted their course. In modern America's mosaic, cities striving. Kinships carved, they sailed, whole. Hopeful. Homeward bound.